We have great schools here in Minnesota, serving our youngest learners in early childhood family education and preschool programs to our K-12 programs and beyond with adult education. Districts have people working hard to maintain and build programs that help learners of all ages. This, of course, requires money to operate. But how exactly are schools funded in Minnesota? Unfortunately, it's a bit more complex than some of the principles taught in an Intro to Business course. Funding public education is a complicated business. There are many stakeholders at the table: students, parents, school leaders, community members, business leaders, and elected officials, to name a few. The money to pay for elementary and secondary education in Minnesota comes through a combination of state-collected taxes, primarily income and sales tax, along with locally collected property taxes. The majority of revenue for school districts, up to 70%, comes from the state. The largest share of the funds provided to schools comes in the form of general education aid, which is intended to provide the basic financial support for the education program. This goes to fund things like transportation, teachers, and curriculum materials. School districts also receive funding for specific categories through formulas generally used to meet costs that vary significantly between districts. These funds must be used for specific areas, like special education or long-term facility maintenance. Some of these funds are tied to specific items, like literacy programs to get students reading by 3rd grade or school breakfast and lunch programs. The remaining school district revenue comes from local tuition and fees, federal grants, and local property taxes. There are many variables which impact our budget each year: enrollment, community support, the local economy, and decisions by state lawmakers. The challenge is to take each of these revenues, which typically don't keep pace with inflation, and meet the needs of all of our stakeholders. For our budget, we take the revenue we expect to receive and allot the funds in buckets. The largest bucket is for paying our teachers and staff. Other buckets include special education, transportation, operations and maintenance, and administration. The state also mandates some of our spending for things like special education and basic skills. Other factors influence how we spend money: class size ratios, aging buildings, emerging technology, and needs specific to the students in our district. We always need to prepare for the winds of change, which can quickly impact our local budget. New legislation, competitive enrollment, teacher retirements, and health insurance costs are all things that can quickly make a big impact. Each year, our challenge is how do we connect all of these revenue and expenditure drivers in order to build an effective budget while taking into account stakeholder voices. It's important for us to collectively develop financial priorities to ensure we use our resources wisely and have the greatest impact on our learners.